And so when you say a call, what types of calls come in to you guys?
So we deal with dog at larges, your typical dogs running in the street, um, animal bites. You deal with welfares, whether it's not providing proper care, as in like medical, food, water, shelter. Not providing sanitary conditions is a big one.
And does that usually come in from like a concerned neighbor?
Yep.
Or family member?
I would say probably most, if not all, of our calls come in from the public.
Okay.
So we rely on the public to see something and say something.
Gotcha. And what would you say is the biggest misconception about what you guys do?
The biggest misconception is that we're just the dog catchers. We're out there to just pick up the strays and bring them back, or we're taking somebody's dog.
Gotcha.
You know how many times I go to somebody's house like, please don't take my dog. I'm not. That's the last thing we ever want to do.
Right.
We're out there to see if there's an issue. There's an issue, how can we address it? Our main goal is, part of our mission statement is best outcome for all.
Is what?
So, best outcome for all.
Oh, gotcha.
So that is in pretty much every officer's mind when they make decisions on how to approach a certain situation.
Okay. And you mentioned you had a call earlier today. What kind of call was that?
It was yesterday.
Oh,
so
okay.
a mail carrier had seen a kitten with an injured leg, and then it fell into the sewer.
Oh.
So I went there yesterday, multiple signs that the kitten went into the sewer. There was feces in the sewer. There was fur on the drain cover. Couldn't find it. There's tubes going on either side of the drain. I spoke with the resident there, and she said, oh, the cats and the raccoons live in the sewers here. They can get in, they can get out. I'm like, well, at least, and they had seen this particular kitten getting out and getting in before. I'm like, okay, well, that makes me feel better that it can get out of here. I left some food down in there, but we'll just go back, see if we can see it in the drain or see it in the area, because it does have a leg injury. We definitely want to bring it in and have our vet take a look at it.
Is that unusual to have like a solo kitten? Because aren't they usually, in litters and stuff? Or
once they get a certain age, they'll start wandering off, but they'll always go back to like where they where their litter mates are and stuff like that. But they'll wander around for sure.
And so if we do find the kitten today, you'll take it back and have it checked out with the vets, right?
If we find the kitten today, the hardest struggle is to try and catch it.
There's that, yeah.
Because it is a feral kitten.
Yeah.
So they don't really like people. They run away. I think that's why it went into the sewer. Maybe someone was trying to catch it and then, went down in there as a safe space.
So what is one of the most different or unusual calls you've ever gotten?
Probably just dealing with some of the exotics.
Oh.
It's something that you just don't, we deal with domestic animals, your cats, your dogs, and we deal with livestock as well. But there'll be exotics in there, like lizards, snakes, alligators, wallabies.
Have you seen an alligator?
I have not in this county, but there have been alligator calls in this county.
Wow. So is that like someone got it as a pet and didn't realize like how big it might get, or? Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
It is not illegal, unfortunately, to own one, and it's all too easy to obtain one.
And I spoke with Officer Kyle a while back, and he told me that he's seen a lot of calls for emus.
Yes, that has increased, actually.
I wonder why, do you think?
People like to have fun exotic animals.
Yeah.
A lot of emu at large calls. Some in the city even.
Now, are emus legal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
I guess the only emu I know is from those commercials.
Yeah.
Right? From the insurance commercials.
Yeah.
And then the song, emu, emu.
Right. You get a lot of people that, they want, all the funny farms has become very popular. You raise your chickens, you have your pigs, your goats, and all of this stuff. And they want to get an emu because they want emu eggs or whatever.
Right.
But then they don't put the effort and the money into training themselves on how to care for these animals, what kind of containment that they need. And it's a backup plan if they were to get out, even if you have good containment.
Right.
same with cattle. Like people, trying to be homesteaders and stuff, so they want their own cattle, raise it for beef or milk, and then they get loose, and it's a hard time to catch them because they didn't do the training with them to go in a trailer or whatever means.
What about like horses too? You do with horses?
Yep. They would fall under like your livestock.
And I would think that's more common in like more rural areas, right?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. We get welfare calls on them, or they're loose.
I would think this time of year when it gets so cold too, do the calls tend to like spike at all in the colder weather?
It just depends. Your welfares will spike up because of animals being kept outside.
Yeah.
It is not against the law to keep your animal outside. You just have to make sure they have everything they need.
Okay.
And that is food, water, and shelter. And shelter is the biggest one.
Well, yeah.
People just put a box outside or a barrel and think that's great.
And that doesn't cut it, does it?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
If you're going to keep your animal outside, I highly recommend people just put a little bit of money in, build a nice shelter, build something that's insulated, build something that is windbreaking, so it has all four walls, the doggy door, something that they can, even just if it's a hole, put something over that hole so that flap can cover the breeze from coming in there. And then something that's of adequate size. So your animal's going in there, and the only heat that they have is on their body. So they need something that is small enough, but yet big enough to move around, but small enough that they can maintain their body heat inside.
And you don't want anything that's going to stay wet, right?
Correct. So blankets and stuff are no-go. They absorb the moisture, they freeze, and they make the animal cold. If you want straw is the only thing that we recommend.
Okay.
Because it's hollow, so it's water wicking and stuff. So the straw definitely can help with windbreak if you throw in a bunch, but it definitely just keeps them dry. That's the biggest thing, that they stay dry so that they can stay warm. You see a lot of people like just throw in like a small layer of straw on the bottom and call it good.
No, you need more.
No, you need to basically shove that whole thing full of straw loosely.
Yeah.
And then they'll burrow in there and stay warm.